My name is João Batista Garcia. I live in Latin America. I am a Brazilian. I am specialist in pain and palliative care, and I work in the northeastern of Brazil as a profession in a university hospital and in a cancer hospital. Currently, I am the president of the Latin America Federation of Association for the Study of Pain, Fedelat, and I'd like to talk about the region. We have an opioid crisis in Latin America. Yes, we have. The opioid crisis, characterized by prolonged and indiscriminate use of prescription opioids in some countries such as US and Canada, has led to high addiction and mortality rates. This has a profoundly negative impact on pain management. In Latin America and for most of the world's population, access to and availability of these medical products is still inadequate and leads to unnecessary suffering as a result. We believe that inadequate pain management in Latin America countries have worsened by the opioid crisis that other regions of the world are undergoing. Most people dying of terminal chronic diseases in developed countries do not have access to controlled medical products for pain management. Worldwide, around 25 million people died in 2015 from terminal chronic diseases. 80% of these were in developed countries, and many of them died suffering from pain. In Latin America, it is estimated by 2020 more than 1 million new cancers and until 600,000 cancer deaths occur each year. These people will need end-of-life care, where pain is a central symptom. Unfortunately, the region has a lack of provision of adequate care and pain medications. The situation in Latin America regarding access to and availability of opioid is still limited and is below 100 SDDD, statistically defined daily dose. Countries with the lowest report consumption include Guatemala, Ecuador, and Bolivia. In Chile, Argentina, Brazil, and Uruguay, opioid consumption has successfully raised 200 SDDD. However, this figure is still not sufficient for adequate pain management. In Latin America, we have another crisis, the opioid underuse crisis that results in undertreatment. Recently, I was evaluating an end-of-life patient with pancreatic cancer in a northern Brazilian city called Altamira do Pará. The city has about 100,000 inhabitants and a territorial extension similar to Portugal, Switzerland, and Ireland. The patient could not eat anything anymore and had severe pain. In the city, there was no injectable morphine to relieve the pain. I visited all the hospitals and pharmacies in search of morphine, but I could not find it in the city. It was necessary to look for a bigger city. This is the reality of Brazil, a country that is a continent. In the Amazon, in the other cities of Brazil, the situation is the same. In several cities of Peru, Bolivia, Venezuela, Paraguay will also be the same. Many people still die in pain and suffering in the region. Of course, there are many problems in Latin America beyond the availability of opioids, such as the lack of education of health professionals, the high cost of analgesics, restrictions, and the absence in many countries of public policies for palliative care and pain. So, Clearly, there are two crises. Our is in a position opposite to the US at this time. Efforts should be made so that both crises are treated with different strategies.